Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're going to be walking through the battle challenge for Mephisto, trying to do a little bit of a guide for you. These challenges are much more difficult than the other ones depending what setting you've got. So the settings we're going to have on here are all the hardest ones. I spent a bunch of time going through this, so now we're going to kind of walk through step by step and tell you some of the tips and tricks to be able to hopefully help you get through it as well. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. It's probably the easiest way to follow along with content, chat, etc. If you want to help out the YouTube algorithm, feel free to hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, subscribe, all that sort of thing, and let's check it out.
Bring me WolverThor!
So as I mentioned, I just got a video out the other day with going ahead and doing some of this, as you can see, painful wins and losses here. Now I finally get to the point where I'm going to get some goodness here. So we're going to walk through this a little bit, and we'll change the settings so it's a little bit slower when need be, but I'm going to talk you guys through this. All right. So there's a few different main things that we want to kind of deal with Mephisto. He's obviously got, so first off, actually, when he starts, the match starts. Now, one of the things I want you to watch here is he has, and this is probably the most annoying ability he's got. He's got a tracking, I think there's 3 of them. So and you'll see it here, as I go up to him, he has, and you'll notice I sort of pre-dodge at some point. I wait for him to move, he's moving, and I'll dodge. Now you'll see some of that gets invincible, some of it doesn't. So he does 3 shots whenever he does it, 1, 2, 3. So whenever he does, some of those ticks might be the dots, but so that's the first key, is that ability. That ability, he starts using it right away. So in theory, as soon as you go in here, you're immediately taking damage. So what I like to do is, like I said, I try to wait until you'll see how he lifts his arm there? He lifts his arm and he starts doing something. That's typically my indication to get ready to do my pre-dodge. If you don't pre-dodge, these abilities are like guided missiles, or what web shooters used to be like. I think they fixed that, where as soon as the enemy's animation's going, you're taking damage. So you have to know when these missiles are coming. In my opinion, this is the biggest key to this fight, is knowing when those are coming. Because when those things hit you, it's almost an insta death. So this is where it starts. It starts off the fight this way. You're gonna want to try to make sure that you are avoiding these. So you'll see, like I mentioned, I come in, I dodge, and you can see some of them are coming. And those invincibles, I took a couple hits. It is a little hard, but I'm at 77% as opposed to like 30% to start this match. Now, he also has a couple other abilities. You can see he's loading up. He's got these, these big missiles that are kind of getting ready to shoot. These particular fireballs, where he gets them where they're like above his head, these are pretty easy to get out of the way of. You can see that, like, as he's coming back, he fires the tracking ones, and then right here, he locks in on you. It's a long animation. That's coming nowhere near hitting me. The biggest thing for those is just stay out of the way. He's got one other fireball animation that we'll see here in a little bit, where I think it's this one here, where he loads up again, and he gets 2 huge fireballs again that target at one particular spot. Those, easy to avoid, no problem, just stay out of the way, okay? A lot of the other parts of the fight here is stuff like this, where he's got a whole bunch of stuff that comes up. You honestly want to get out of that. There's no tip trick, that, key thing there that's like, hey, here's a real big indicator. Just avoid it. You can see a lot of these all over the map. What I personally do, as I'm going through this, I'll speed this up a little bit here, is I try to stay out of the way of those particular things, where I'm moving around constantly. I want to know where certain things are at. I want to know when are those tracking fireballs going to be coming up. Now, right now he's doing this big, as you can see, it's kind of like similar to what Ares does. I snipe, he comes up to this. Obviously stay out of that. If you are in those, you are going to wipe. Now I will also say the animations to some of these are not exactly on track for what you would think. I have been like almost, see, you can kind of see me now where I'm, you know, a little bit like right here, like right out of it, my foot's sort of on the line. If that wave is a little bit closer to me, it seems that if that wave's past me and my foot's still there, I will die. So just don't risk it. Stay out of the way for those. Biggest thing. Now, what you should find here is right after this, tracking fireballs. That was one of the things I noticed after doing all those defeats, that he would do those tracking fireballs right after that. It would always be sort of this, you'd get the 3 lines where he'd shoot the waves, and then right after that, you can see I dodge, and then those fireballs don't do damage to me. That is the biggest reason for why I was able to survive that. That is your tip. That if you're gonna take anything from this video, take that, okay? Take that one tidbit, and the rest I think you could probably figure out. Now, additionally, you can see like as soon as I got out of the way from these, he started doing his rotation of the other abilities that he uses, where it's the fireballs above his head. There's about 5 of them. They target you where you're at, and then he does the big one again. And again, just move out of the way, stay consistently moving. You should be fine. And again, he also did one of those, the hands from below. So those particular sequence of events, at least at this stage, are pretty consistent. You'll find that it's easy to get out of those once you know that. One of the things that is really annoying about him is he will literally throw those tracking fireballs across the map at you. All right, so like see here, I'm over here. If I'm smart, I should be pre-dodging here. I pre-dodge, there's the tracking fireballs. Now I've had him where he doesn't even dash. He will just stand there after doing that, you know, kind of like fork, and throw those tracking fireballs across the entire arena here and still hit me. Because I was thinking I was going to be smart and stand on the other side and just be out of the way of everything and be like, okay, I'm fine here. I mean, he's not going to fire something all the way across the map. Sure enough, he does, and I die because similar, like I mentioned earlier, it's the damage hits you prior to that, and you can't dodge it once it's kind of coming at you. You're just sort of stuck. So you can see I've got him down to about 2 bars here. He's doing pretty consistent a sequence of events. At some point, pretty quickly, he actually goes into his big ball. That part I didn't get a lot of opportunity to be in. And you can see he dashed there, and sometimes the dashes aren't just dash and tracking fireballs. There's a couple of the big ones. Sometimes you're going to want to dodge out of those. He's going to do the fork thing again. He should be doing the tracking ones. Looks like he might not have done that there. Did he not do that? Let's see. I know I probably... There's my... Oh, you know what? It's because I used my ultimate. So that's one of the things I noticed too, is this guy is a little bit smart, and then he uses them. So notice that, like, Mephisto's got some decent AI to him, because he does this try here. Okay. I'm like, normally I was out of dodges, so I ulted to try to be like, okay, I don't want to take the hit. I want to be invincible. So there were the 3, and then he does it again. So not only does he still do it in my dodge or in my ultimate, he'll do it again after that. And there was a couple times in this video. So ultimate, tracking fireballs. Luckily I'm invincible. I'm out of my ultimate. I'm sniping, thinking dash, and then he does it again. And I'm like, what the heck? So he's got a decent AI to him, and then he goes through his regular rotation here, where he's actually going to be doing the other couple animations. But again, like, I mean, I just was floored when I saw this, and I saw this a couple times, where after this, alt, where's my alt? I can't dodge, I don't have anything, so I alt. He's just chilling, throwing the fireballs at me, even though I'm invisible. I'm invisible. He dashes and throws the tracking fireballs again. So there are times where he will absolutely do those tracking fireballs back-to-back times. So if you've got some sort of, invisibility or something that, I don't even know what another ability, but maybe an iframe or something. If you're finding that he's doing it twice in a row, that might be why. So, and one of the other things, I don't know if I do it right here or not, but one of the other things to consider is run around. Let your med pots or your med kits do their job so that you don't engage them, because one hit from this guy can easily kill you. So I've got no shame in running around the map a little bit to go ahead and to get some HP up. Now he does his 3 again. I should be pre-dodging. There it is. One of them hit me, or actually a couple of them. Looks like I took some decent damage there. But I tried to get out of the way. So I'm just trying to milk my situation here so that I can actually keep my HP high. You can see I'm about 50% HP. Around the 1 bar mark is when he will get that big sort of, I don't know what you want to call it, but the giant engraving thing where it's kind of like, well, and it didn't happen here. I got super stoked, but we'll pause it. But when he's actually in his mode where it's where he's got the ball around you or ball around himself, he does get that around one bar. Now for me here, you can see I had him pretty low. I got the Chavez mark on him, and I hit him for, what was that there? Let's see here. I mean, I got a pretty big hit on him there. Almost 12 mil snipe, which is not bad. It's not a Mamba level 30 mil snipe, but I kept that ability from happening. So I'll find the spot in this where earlier I did have it where he had that around him, and it was a little bit, the arms come out. It's a little bit tough, and I would say I would recommend here. Let's see here. Let's play it here. I think he's got it going maybe in this one. So in this one, you could see I was actually trying to get my HP up. I was just running back and forth. I was kind of like, all right, come on, get healed. And then I'd go back and attack him. And in this one, I believe he actually is when okay, so he does the 3, he does the tracking. And all right, so he's at 1. I believe this is the time when I sit here and I go, all right, so you can see he does get that big blaze up. So if you're messing around too long in this part, I will say this final phase can be very difficult. At one point, I actually ran through here and I tried to run around, and I was running around trying to heal up. And those arms that he has that come out, if you've ever fought him in, the either Dark Zone or in the World for the Most Wanted, he has these in this phase too. I don't think I die here from that, or do I? Yeah, so I think this is the one where, so I'm just running around trying to, and there they are. See, off to the right. Now I didn't notice these when I was playing. I was sort of looking at him. So while on the screen now I can see him plain as day, I had no clue. I didn't notice him. And you can see, what's my HP here? 83% gone. It's just like, boom. So if you get hit by these things, you are toast. So this last phase here, it really is important that once he gets into, and of course the silences are there. I'm just running around trying to avoid. What I was waiting for here was hoping to try to get a couple dodges ready and then go in there. Honestly, I made a mistake here. I had 1 dodge. I have my ultimate. I just needed 1 hit on him. I should have ran in there, dodged in, ulted, and then I mean, my snipe's about to come off on cooldown. Obviously, it's easy to see as a Monday morning quarterback type situation, but this is something that I absolutely could have just gone in there and done. But I'm not super upset that it happened this way, is because now I can share this with you guys and say, hey, look, be careful in this game mode. I am sure I tried to, when there was less than a bar left, you can see me get super upset here. Yeah, I put my head on my hands and all these sort of things. So yeah, I mean, it's behind the chair, but I was so friggin' upset from that. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Head in the hand and all of that. So those I'd say are the biggest things with Mephisto. I think, he is a serious pain in the butt. I was so stoked when I got him. down, and I'm just happy that this particular snipe, you know, took him down a ton. It was a very, very hard fight. I honestly, like, I mean, what was he at? He was over half, so he was like 3/4. You know what the interesting thing there is? See how he jumps out? It's like he heals there. See that? He's at 1 right there. Now he's at 2. So there was some sort of, I don't know, something weird happened there. Luckily the snipe still took him out, but I was really excited. So those are my biggest tips. As I mentioned, I think the biggest thing to think about from this is those tracking fireballs. There's 3 of them. He starts the match with it. He always does it after his little like 3-way fork type ability that he throws out there. You got to have dodges ready for it. Try to save your dodges for that. My recommendation is don't necessarily use them outside of that. If you're a flyer, try to be in the air. I know it's a guard break situation, but use your flying dashes to get out of the other stuff. That's what I did when I was in the ground. And then use those dodges for the 3-way. I did it on the hardest level with this guy. I'm about 1.6 in PvE gear. It's pretty solid gear, but and again, I took a lot of attempts to do this. If you watch the video where it's what I called the raw view, this was what I was kind of doing. So again, hope this helps you guys. I'm going to do some other videos, probably Hella, and maybe, you know, the one with the dot. I don't even know if I've got a good recommendation for that, frankly. I mean, I had to lower it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we'll look at that. So appreciate you guys making this long. As I mentioned at the front end of the video, if you want to come over to the Discord or comment, etc., feel free to comment below. Let me know how you're doing on this. The Discord link in the description below is the easiest way to follow along with the content. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, consider hammering down on that like button, you know, the notification bell, share with your aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, grandmas, grandpas, subscribe. Well, yeah, anyway, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.